This is the G Podcast with your host, Tommy B.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to episode 232 of This is the G Podcast. Yes. What's up, y'all? Good to be back again, man. And I got to say it, man. Kamala Harris is now the presumptive Democratic nominee. Am I saying that right?
That's correct. That is correct.
Is that correct? I got to give it to her, man. And again, I'm Tommy B. Vi, the country commentator, is in the ether somewhere. What's up, Vi? Got to shout him out. And, of course, Talib Shabazz is here. What's up, Talib?
What's good? We're good.
You know, it's his birthday.
Another week.
It's his birthday week, so, you know.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, yes.
You might have overdone it.
It ain't even...
It's funny. When you're in the mood, it's all good. But that recovery, boy...
It hadn't even happened yet, but it's it's like between him and Tonya B's birthday is like the middle of the month, but she takes the whole month. So August is a different kind of month over here. So that's the way it goes. Each week we do news, politics, pop culture. That piping hot tea from, of course, the one and only August birthday month girl Tonya B. So let's just go ahead and get right into it, man. I want to go ahead and play a clip. Of course, we are in the ATL. Or the metropolitan, Atlanta metropolitan area. And Kamala Harris was in the ATL this week. So here's how it went.
Over 10,000 people were on hand for a campaign rally in Atlanta Tuesday night. It was the first Georgia rally for the presumptive Democratic nominee for president. Vice President Kamala Harris spoke to the energetic crowd for a little over 20 minutes, focusing on her political record as a prosecutor and even once again challenging former President Donald Trump to meet her for a debate.
I do hope you'll reconsider to meet me on the debate stage. Because as the saying goes, if you've got something to say, say it to my face.
Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens, two-time gubernatorial candidate Stacey Abrams, Senators John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock also spoke. Rapper Megan Thee Stallion was on hand as well.
That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do with him. And here's the disastrous. I don't even know what to call it, but let's go ahead and play it. Here we go.
Mr. President, I would love if you can answer the question on your rhetoric and why you believe
I have
that
answered
black
the
voters
question.
should trust you with another
I
4
have
years.
been the best president for the black population since Abraham Lincoln.
And that's how it started Wednesday. While the National Association of Black Journalists have been blasted by some for inviting him, Donald Trump and his supporters believe his appearance at the organization's annual convention in Chicago was a good thing. However, most of the national media has focused on this comment about Kamala Harris's racial identity.
I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
The White House reacted to the former president's appearance at the NABJ event, saying no one has any right to tell someone who they are and how they identify. Following what happened earlier, here's the vice president Wednesday night.
And it was the same old show. The divisiveness and the disrespect.
Harris was in Houston to speak to members of Sigma Gamma Rho sorority.
Yeah, man. So from a really good Atlanta, we call rally. Okay, it was a good rally in the ATL. I give it up to her, man. And really and truly, I've been stating on the podcast, I've been really concerned about the youth. The youth vote, the energy. It's another story. I mean, when you go to TikTok, you go to Kamala Harris HQ, I think is what it's called. Mm-hmm. It is off the chain on TikTok, man, and the social media presence, the celebrities, the young, the youthful celebrities who are embracing her. It's a movement. I mean, even when you look at the fact that right now you got David Plouffe, who was, basically in charge of the Obama campaign back in 2008. A lot of, I think up to 4 Obama campaign folks have jumped on to the Harris campaign. So you can feel that they're going for that youth vote. They're going for the people who've not voted before. They're going for that coalition that Obama had back in 2008. But let me ask you, Talib, man, the NABJ thing, man, I want to get your thoughts. I have mine, but I'd love your thoughts on this.
Yeah, they the only person that comes off smelling like a rose after that whole thing is probably Kamala Harris. You know, it started off as a debacle, you know, because they didn't want to do a video thing with her, with you know, Vice President Harris, who was attending Sheila Jackson Lee's funeral. Like, okay, I'm not just blowing off. This is not just me blowing off the NABJ. How am I not going to be at Representative Lee's funeral? You know what I mean? Like, as the NABJ, you should understand that, because you should be covering that as well, which should have been a great opportunity for us to have a candid conversation with a representative from the NABJ in this live event where you could take questions and do all this stuff, because Zoom and team meetings have now progressed to the point where as long as you've got a camera connection, you're golden. And a good internet, you know, and a good bandwidth. You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, I don't know what, it was a clusterfuck from the start, you know, and then, you know, you got, what's the opportunist, Donald J. Trump, DJ Trump, stepping in like, yo, okay, it was almost like, you know what this felt like? You as a DJ, Tommy B, comes in and you've got a gig, and you're a regular old DJ kid, right? And, and then somebody comes in and says, "Hey, Tommy B is doing it for $200 a night. I'll come in and do it for like 75. Just give me 75 and 2 drinks." Because Donald J. Trump seizes what he thought was a great opportunity to make Kamala Harris, you know, Vice President Harris, look bad by saying, well, she's not going to be there. Well, shit, man, I'll be there. Of course I'll be there for you guys. You know what I mean? And it's like, and look at what happens.
It's a mess.
You know, it was, to me, both Donald J's, President Trump's performance was that of a $75 DJ that night, as well as the promoter looked crazy because the party was not what it could have been had you done it, the right way. You know what I mean? So imagine that to me, that's the scenario I kind of liken this whole thing to, you know, because, you know, for Trump, it could have been a great opportunity for him to really key in and to dig in on some things that, even though it might have been still rhetoric, you know, would still have him looking a little bit better, you know, to who he's trying to appeal to, the blacks. And I don't like the way he started saying.
Let me say, man, I got you, man. And let me just say, you know, I was so pissed with the NABJ. I've known about and actually have supported the NABJ throughout my career, man. You know, and really considered as a podcaster doing some things or reaching back out. I have no interest now because it just shows, you know, it's a ramrod. I don't know. I mean, it's like for them to you have to consider Trump's going to lie. Okay, he's a liar. You know, Cheeto is always going to come out against the truth. You're a journalistic organization. You're an organization of journalists, okay?
Right.
And you stand for the truth. You're not going to get the truth from him. Plus, he had Harris Faulkner on from Fox, and she was enabling or there. That's one of the reasons he came on, because she was there to enable his lies. I just, you know, it was just wrong from the start. I felt that the journalist from ABC News did the right thing by challenging him on the questions that we have as black voters, you know, and the black journalist never get a chance to ask. She asked him, but yet, you know, they weren't the questions he wanted. So he confronted her in an attempt to degrade her, to degrade the organization. He's, you know, and I don't have to tell y'all, you know, for people who try to, how do you say it? I don't know, support or encourage. That's more frustrating for me, for the people who try to make up the excuses. Well, it wasn't right. I'm like, look, he's a liar. He's divisive. He's a racist. He's a misogynist. The other thing was, I didn't get this, Talib. Why were all women? Why was it an all-woman
no
panel?
male on the panel, right?
I mean,
knowing that he hates women.
Right. Knowing he's going to go after women.
I mean, look, I don't know if he hates women or not.
What? But let me say this. You know what, Talib? When people show you who they are, you fucking believe them.
You're right.
So for people who tell me, well, he doesn't really hate women, well, everything comes out of his mouth, he's going to take a shot.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I don't know if he doesn't hate women, but he acts like a dude who does.
Right. He acts like the He-Man, like somebody said from the Little Rascals, the He-Man woman haters club. Yeah. He's a big, between J.D. Vance and they are the He-Man woman haters club from the Little Rascals. But giving him the opportunity, man, just to ridicule black people or a black organization, for him to take a shot at the sound system, And
you started late. See, and that's what I really thought. I did underestimate the conservative press, because I really thought that they would have tried to spin this in a whole different manner. For the most part, everybody was like, "Hey, bad move for the Trump team," which surprised me, because I really thought that they would have been like, from the late comment, people don't start on time. There was a sound issue, such and such. The list goes on and on. And I really thought that they would have tried to spin it in his favor a little bit more, but they have been kind of brutal.
As they should be. But you know what? You're late. You are late recognizing who he is.
Right, but the reason that the performance was late, I can't even call it an interview.
The people who are now figuring out, this is a bad dude.
Yes,
you late.
Yes. This is what you got. This is what you're voting for.
This is the guy you're rallying around. Okay. Right. So it's just like, again, He-Man woman's hater. I have so many examples. It's just like Living Color, Fire Marshal Bill. It's just like bringing Fire. It's like bringing Fire Marshal Bill to a damn fire chief conference. It just made no sense to me.
It's hilarious.
It's hilarious. Any last words on that, man?
That is the last word. You know what I mean? Yeah. But here's the thing. In a general sense, I don't have a problem with the NABJ extending an invitation to Trump as the Republican candidate, because that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, you bring them both, though. You bring them both.
You know what I mean? Right. Yeah. Right. And even if the invitation there was an invitation to both, because Vice President Harris couldn't be there.
Yeah.
So there was definitely somebody trying to work something out for her.
Well, I'm just going to say, and I'm going to end it for the sake of brevity, man. I will say that the NABJ, even the membership was split over the invite. Mm-hmm. They knew what they were going to get.
Oh yeah,
it's like what you're going to get, and when you know what you're going to get, it's like if you're asking for what you get.
Yes, exactly.
You're asking for it,
right? But he delivered,
and he delivered.
That should have made everybody happy, because if you let me say this, man, and I know. For the people who, and Joy Reid said it best. I wanted to play her clip. She was on, the whole conference. Stephen A. Smith was on Friday. I think she was on, as we taped today, she was on this morning. And she said, we're bringing these people on to define who we are, the wrong people. And he sat there defining or making an attempt to define, the VP, defining her race. Right.
And those days are over.
Right.
But we still allow them and give them a platform to do this. And really, she was hitting hard because she said we should not be giving racist a platform to define us. Because honestly and truly, I get pushed back on this all the time. He's a racist, y'all. Mm-hmm. I mean, he cannot avoid race when it comes down. He can't look at those women on that stage as black female journalists. He looks at them as subordinate black women or black women who are beneath him. That's why he talked to them the way he did. He's not going to do Harris Faulkner like that because she's one of him. She's part of that cabal.
Right.
But the way he treated, I think her name is Rachel from ABC News.
ABC, yeah.
I mean, and she had every right to go in.
Mm-hmm.
And one more weird thing, though. Did you see him grab the water bottle?
You're weird, too? You're in on the weird now?
And on the weird side, did you see him grab her water bottle and tighten it and then put it back? That just shows me, it's just like he did Hillary. When Hillary's space, remember he kept following Hillary around the stage back in 2016. He doesn't respect you. So he reaches over and grabs your bottle, puts his hand on it, turns it, twists it, and then puts it back. He just shows it's just disrespect. It's subtle disrespect.
Right.
It irks me. It just kind of makes your skin crawl. How bad this dude is. Melania won't even kiss him in the mouth. I mean, he's bad.
48 laws of power.
You know it. Hey, one more thing, man. On Kamala Harris, VP Harris, she's killing it on the youth vote. Up 20%. Spike. They call it the youth quake. Meg the Stallion was on. Hotties for Harris. Hotties for Harris. Quavo. I mean, it was real for people who attended. I'm here in Atlanta. People who attended it, they said there was nothing fake about it, nothing staged about it. Man, a lot of authenticity. In the crowd. Not unlike the guy who has to bring out Kid Rock for the youth vote. It's just a totally different vibe. But you got some old heads who, of course, felt it was the wrong move to have Megan out there. What are your thoughts on that, ma'am?
Look, man, listen. The woman has effectively had 105 days to get out the message to vote for her. We already know that the celebrity machine is coming.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of what celebrity. And in this case, these are our celebrities.
Absolutely.
So,
this
you know what I mean? Like, come on.
Yeah.
She wore her for Megan Thee Stallion and what she's known for and known for doing. She was dressed pretty conservatively.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She was wearing tight pants, but they were tight pants.
They were pants.
Jeans, you know what I mean?
They were covering.
Exactly. The entire leg. Come on. What do you want? There was a little midriff shown.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is what we got, but she didn't twerk.
Yeah.
She kind of shook a little bit, but she wasn't out there popping and shaking. So obviously there is some kind of respect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look, folks are always going to complain about something. She's not black. She's this. She's black. Look, we're going to be able to find a million excuses for why you don't want to back this woman. But my thought is, can we all agree on the fact that none of the bad stuff that you want to say about Vice President Harris, she has never on record said that she wants to be a dictator.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Look, unless you want to, maybe you really need to read about who these dictators are.
Yeah.
And what kind of life Cubans had under Fidel Castro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or any of these other dictators that have been out there. Saddam Hussein, Gaddafi. Gaddafi was good to the people on the outside. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because there was oil subsidies. But, how were the people really treated in his country?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, look, man, we don't need any more strong men. George Bush effectively got rid of the last of the strong men. Kim Jong-un is probably who's left. Putin is always going to be there because that's Russia.
Yeah.
That's the enemy.
Yeah.
You got the eagle, you got the bear, but all this other stuff.
Yeah. I agree. I'm with you, man.
And really, that speech that Vice President Harris gave to the Signals, and really, when she said, the same old, I was like, oh, snap, she's about to,
Keep going there. Here we go.
It kind of just made you perk up. I wasn't really scared. I was just kind of like, whoa, what's going to follow?
Yeah, I hear you.
But,
one more thing on VP Harris, man. And speaking of VP, choices of VP. Okay, you got Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear.
Everybody likes him.
Transportation Secretary Mayor Pete. Mark Kelly, Senator, Arizona. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker. I'm just hearing his name probably this week. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, and then Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Who do you see as the best fit, or narrow it down to two? Who do you see? Your thoughts?
And
if you're not sure, I'll dive in.
I'll just say this. I've heard a lot of talk about Beshear and the fact that he's been able to be a Democrat in a Republican state for so long, and he's really done some positive things. Tim Walz, in terms of excuse me, somebody that has some kind of progressive ideals, economically as well as politically, some kind of social outreach, that could be good. Shapiro, I've started hearing a lot of talk about him like in the last, week or two. Really last week. I don't really know much about Shapiro, but the fact that he's now coming into this forefront stage, is definitely telling of what he's got. I just don't know about it.
I hear you. I mean, I see these guys as all having positives. The issues are going to be the negatives. And with Shapiro, I don't want the Gaza situation to override the issues we really have in this election over here at home.
Right.
And I do think he said some things that are coming out, from the past about the two-state solution. He's saying some things, right, or some things are coming back from some of. Going back, they go back to college.
Come on,
when you're writing for your college newspaper,
right.
So they pull everything. And I like him. I like his presentation. He's a bulldog when it comes down to, defending Kamala Harris on his stops. My only concern is that, and I do like him, but that's my concern. In Pennsylvania's, a big battleground opportunity for her. I do agree with you as well. I didn't know Walz was like only 60. He looks like doesn't he look older than most? He looks like the oldest one.
Yeah, hard life, baby. Hard life, man.
Hard life. That Minnesota drinking man. But Andy Beshear, the only concern about Andy Beshear that I'm hearing, man, is the fact that he has muddied the waters on abortion, which, and abortion rights, which, that could be a big deal when it comes down to you got a female president, a woman running for president, and that's her main platform. So he needs to clarify that. And I think that's probably what they're having him do as they vet him. Mayor Pete, the obvious, unfortunately, but Mayor Pete, man, have you seen Mayor Pete on the surrogate circuit? Dude, they cannot. I mean, he's been on Fox, and they try to trap him.
Okay.
They can't mess with Mayor Pete. He's a smart guy. He's a Navy guy. Of course, he's been a mayor. He knows all the media tricks. He just handles the media well. even
don't
in tough situations. So he's very good for that. I think he'd be a good surrogate, because I think what she's going to have is somebody to defend her while she's playing offense. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you play offense, go out, all the good stuff, and then you need an attack dog in the VP. And if the VP can't do that, then they don't need to be VP.
Yeah.
You know? So those are my – I mean, Mark Kelly I was cool with, but Mark Kelly, you've not heard anything. It's like,
right.
You know, he's not out there the way these other guys are out there, you know. So, you know, and I think, you know, again, I think it's going to be Bashir if they can get over the abortion thing. That's the only challenge he's going to have. And that's a pretty big challenge.
Yeah.
No lie, you know.
One thing I just want to say real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. I think it's either going to be Bashir or Walsh. I think it's going to be one of those two.
And I'm hoping so, because the thing is that, you know, big business has really been coming out for Vice President Harris, and she's going to, you know, she's definitely going to need to be or have somebody in there that's going to be able to still push a, you know, some kind of social agenda, you know, in order for this to make any kind of sense for a Democratic ticket. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
pushing,
because I mean,
you know,
the FT, because they
Medicare
definitely,
for all, and a lot of the, you know, that social platform, social services platform has to be pushed.
Exactly.
You know, you got to keep the progressives happy.
Right.
You know, as well as you just can't be a moderate. You just can't run as a moderate. I agree with you. And these guys are moderates, but they're also, I mean, they don't play. And I think I'm not saying just go after Trump but you know what's coming. And we talked about this last episode, that this is just beginning. The NABJ stuff, that's just the start of it. Yeah. You got anything else, man? What's your big thing for the week?
Just a couple of headlines to check out. I'm not going to delve into these stories too much. Some of them we don't have to, but just to give you a couple of headlines that I saw this week that definitely made for some interesting reading.
Yeah.
The first one I saw kind of today, and this one bumped it up to the top of the list. Trump says Zuckerberg called him after assassination and told him he wouldn't endorse a Democrat again. Or a Democrat.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you gotta give it to Trump, man. You know,
for lying, you don't know if he's telling the truth.
He doesn't stop.
He's a machine. He's a machine. It's just like Elon Musk, and what, 14 million a week, 15 million. You know, and then, you know, Elon Musk comes out. I'm not giving him 14.5 million a week.
Yeah. So
but you can't believe him. You can't believe him, man. He has no credibility. But go ahead.
Indeed.
Yeah. Do you believe he says? I mean, Zuckerberg may have said it, but he says,
Zuckerberg,
you know, knowing it's Trump, what the fuck? Just say it. Nobody's gonna believe him.
You know, I'm sure the conversation was probably something like, yes, Mr. Trump, yes, President Trump. Yeah, I would never do that. I would never do that.
But you know how he does. He puts the words in your mouth for you.
Right. So
do I have the word? And he's just like trying to get out of fuck Donald. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So the second good one. The second good one is probably going to have all the teenagers. Well, it should definitely get attention from the entire teenage population of the United States. The headline reads, "Who invented flaming hot Cheetos is now up for debate in a new lawsuit against Frito-Lay."
What?
Yeah. So I'm not even going to tell you about that one. We'll talk about that offline. But, you know, it's like...
So the whole movie was a farce? Anyway, go ahead.
All right, so third one, and is rapper and Kanye contributor Rhymefest runs for office, inspired by James Baldwin, quote, "I stopped caring what people think."
Okay.
Rhymefest is running for public office in Illinois.
I don't know Rhymefest. I mean, who does he compare to?
He's big on the underground scene, backpack, part of that Polo lyricist lounge type, you know, contribute. Rhymefest is probably ghostwritten for a couple of folks too. But, you know, he's definitely big on the freestyle head nod side of the hip hop scene. And I'm just liking the fact that, in the spirit of, do it all from Lords of the Underground running for office and actually winning, and other people of the hip hop generation and the notable hip hop generation actually doing something. Scarface ran for public office.
Yep.
Here in Atlanta, DJ Cooley C ran for district, local elections. So, I love to see that. I love to see my folks, my generation, really starting to mobilize and do some positive things for the community. Because at least I know that they are there for the people.
Yeah, so true. So true. All right, man. I want to go ahead and wrap with, I do want to play this just to recap, an update on, say her name, Sonya Massey. Here we go.
While the police union announced it would not fight the firing of former Deputy Sean Grayson, we're now able to hear the actual 911 call by Massey's mother asking for help and restraint for her daughter.
Please don't send no combative policemen that are prejudiced, please. They're scary. I'm scared of the police. Sometimes they make the situation worse.
That was Massey's mother there saying sometimes police make the situation worse. Now, Sangamon County Sheriff Jack Campbell, Grayson's boss, says he will not step down. He also said his department failed and asked Miss Massey and her family for forgiveness.
Yeah, the forgiveness thing, miss me with that, dude. But what she said is what 90% of black folks say today when it comes down to dealing with 911 and the police and their loved ones. Really, and that's a shame. That's a shame. That's the tragedy in all this.
Exactly. That
we can't trust 911. We can't trust who's going to show up. The
fact that that sister even had to say that in the call,
Well, she said it exactly the way a lot of us say it. Please don't send no crazy hotheads, racist, combative police. She didn't say those exact words, but you could hear it in her voice. Don't send combative people. But that again, it goes back to the George Floyd Act, man. It goes back to the fact that these all these police organizations, the police forces in these cities need a mental health advocate person on their payroll. For calls like this, bring a mental health professional along. That's not too much. That's part of the bill. I think if it requires a couple, at least partnership with the mental health organization, have them go. I've seen so many situations where, mental health, people who are struggling with their mental health have been shot on the scene.
Yeah.
And that's, it's sad. It's unfortunate. Okay. Hey, the other thing is, man, I do want to clarify something I said last week. I was going off on the white women. Okay. So, of course, somebody said, hey, man, that's racist going off on. But see.
Going off on what white women?
I was not. Well, here's the deal. I don't care what I get back from that. But I do want to clarify because I want to make sure I'm bullseye when I say what I clarify. It's not all. I never throw a blanket. I'm not Donald Trump. I don't come out here throwing blankets on groups of people. But I will say what I'm calling out are the 45% of the people who voted for him in 2016, the 45% white women who voted for him in 2016, the 55%, 55 went from 45 to 55 in 2020 who voted for Trump, okay? The white women who voted for him in 2020. I'm calling out the ones, you and I are almost the same age, so you remember this, the ones who begged us for solidarity in the commercials, talking about, I can bring home the bacon, fried up in the pan. The Gloria Steinem movement coming through the 70s, the Mary Tyler Moores, the That Girls, the Mauds, all those who have forgotten that at that point, putting yourself out there, front and center, asking us for solidarity or come together. The Me Too's, who now that you kind of gotten what you wanted, but you still repay the country for understanding your situation and sympathizing, empathizing with you, you still go out and vote for the most misogynistic candidate probably ever. You may have had misogynists who have had, how do you say it? People have been misogynistic, but not this blatant.
Right.
In history. So you're going to repay us for believing in you and cheering on the sidelines for you through all this by voting for Donald Trump? Y'all don't remember that?
Right.
Either you're going to be silent or you're going to vote for him. So you understand what I'm saying? That's why as a ex-boomer, it ticks me off, because how can you vote for or vote against your interest in this large a number when all the, you remember?
Yes, but we also remember the jealousy that has been passed down. We hear the jealousy stories of white women and black women.
Oh yeah,
on the plantation. You know, so it's like we're asking. I know what it's asking of you, but at some point you have to let go of whatever stigmas and isms that you have been holding in for so long, and understand what it's going to take to really get something done for once. Now, I'm not saying that, listen, I'm a realistic person. I know what's happening at the presidential level with these presidential people and these people that seek this kind of power. So I'm not fooling myself, by this time throwing a little weight behind, Vice President Harris in this quest for her to become president, only because I know of what the obvious choice is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know what we're going to get with
what it's not.
Right, exactly.
Because the optics are everything, man, and that's my point. My point is, I don't care who you vote for, but the optics, when your numbers, and I will say this, black women have been there in big numbers.
That's always been the backbone. That's what I'm saying.
The massive number. But yet and still, again, you consider all the things where the world has been on the sideline for you, yet when the world needs you the most, you're still trying to make up your mind. And I don't get that. I don't get how you can vote against your interest. But I'm not. I don't wear your gender. So there you go. But that's skin. Nor your skin. That's for those. That's for y'all who have forgotten. That's all. I just want to clarify. Not the ones. Look, man, I've had some amazing friends and people who have supported so no, it's for the ones who I think have just clearly taken advantage and forgotten. Those are the ones. I got to ask, why? Why do you keep voting against your interest? All right, love it. Love your feedback, positive or negative on the episodes. Love your thoughts, man. I really would. Go to castropolis.net, choose the people poll. You can leave us a voice message as well. I'll play back the best. Big thanks to the biggest supporters, man. We really appreciate the help. Website now has election information, and it also has information about the Kamala Harris, some of the articles that we've talked about on the show, as well as how you can give to the campaign and all that. And again, this month, August, man, is a big month for us. A lot of big adjustments, changes, so we really do need your support. You can go to the website right at the very top and click subscribe or support us. Give. I'm gonna have to go on the NPR.
Please.
I'm gonna have to go. Please. I'm gonna have to pull out the Sarah McLachlan,
right?
And the the dogs with the chain in the gate. Gotta pull them out, man. Go to castropolis.net, y'all. Give.
Understand
Thank you for your
something.
support.
It's always about putting your money where your mouth is.
That's it. If you listen, you support. Say it. Say it one more time for the people.
Please spend $1, y'all. That's what I told them in the business. You know what I mean? When I was pushing records, man. Look, spend $1. Spend that $3, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, Show the people that you really mean what you say.
Yeah. So true. So true.
And thank you for the ones who do.
I do, big time, man. Hey, I wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be doing this without them, man. It wouldn't be. Talisha Biles, thank you so much, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Appreciate you. And with that, let's take a break and we'll do the tea with Tonya B. Thank you again, man. Hey, what's up? This is the G Podcast listeners. How you doing? We want to keep bringing you awesome content without any of the annoying ads interrupting the flow. If you enjoy what you hear, consider contributing to our podcast by giving as little as $1 or whatever you can spare. Head over to our website at castropolis.net. That's CASTROPOLIS.net to show your support. Thank you for being amazing listeners and for helping us keep This Is the G Podcast virtually ad-free. Your support means the world to us. Stay tuned for more fun and friendly conversations on This Is the G Podcast. Thanks again.
Now then, children, it's time for tea.
It's tea time, y'all. Sipping the tea with Tonya B.
Here we go. It's Tonya B to sip this tea right here on This Is the G Podcast. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. We are on Instagram. We are on the YouTube channel. Please help us out. We're trying to get to another 5,000 subscribers. So please don't forget, like, share, subscribe. Thank you. All right, let's just get right to it. Got a lot to tell you. Let's go to the altars of the 5,000 Black Baptist churches of Atlanta to say rest in peace to Alma Powell, the wife of Colin Powell. Erica Ash of Survivor's Remorse. You may remember she played Tashina Arnold's daughter. Can you believe she was only 46 years young and had been battling cancer for the last 10 years? So pretty much the bulk of the time we saw her on camera, when we knew her, she was in that battle. May she rest in peace. Also, DJ Polo of DJ Polo and Cool G Rap. Remember the Symphony in '88 hip hop classic? He's gone on to hip hop heaven along with the rapper Tino XL, who was very young, only 50 years old. Let's say prayers up and get well wishes to Millie Jackson's daughter, Keisha. You know, she's one of the most sought after backing vocalists out here. Everybody from Badu to Outkast and then some sang background for Betty Wright. Well, she tours with this band this summer called Yacht Rock Review. They've launched a GoFundMe and they're also planning a benefit concert for Keisha. She's had brain surgery and I'm hearing that it has taken away her eyesight. So please lift her up, check her out, help out if you can. If everybody who heard this podcast gave $1, it would make a difference. So get well, Keisha Jackson. You know, there's an IG post that's gone beyond viral, Tommy B, and it intimates that Will Smith's Oscar slapdown was a scam and a sham. There's an old movie, and Will Smith must have studied it because he says the dialogue almost word for word. That's a bit far to go to prove a point. 50 Cent, 5 on it. Got to give it to him. He starts stuff, but he knows how to handle his business. You know, he's linked a deal with Lionsgate. He's going to launch his own free ad-supported channel called 50 Cent Action. Okay, you'll see everything from all of his movies, everything from the Power franchise, and classic movies like The Hitman's Bodyguard and Rambo. I'm not mad at him. Usher is going to take the route of Taylor Swift and Beyonce, and what I mean is he's going to turn one of his concerts into a movie. Only in the movie September 12th to the 15th, it's Usher, Rhapsody in Paris. Vegas. Who said Vegas? Okay. Now, you may remember I told you a couple of months ago that Cardi B was a no-show at Patti LaBelle's birthday party. She was supposed to host it. Heard she was sick because she wasn't feeling well. She's pregnant. It was true. I told you. But she's also got more to worry about for the 10th time, I think. And we're tired of this stunt. She has filed for divorce from her always serial cheating husband. Is it Offset? I think so. Whatever. I'm tired of all y'all. Go over there and sit down in the corner. Pregnant with baby number 3. Word from the curb is she's got about 63 days to get up $3 million, or that $5 million mega mansion she living in up there. I think it's Alpharetta, Georgia. Is going to go into foreclosure. You know what? Enough of y'all. Tiffany Haddish, we enough of you too. Now this time she must really be starved for attention. I hope you go get the mental help you need, because let's call it what it is. It's real. She went on TikTok and she needed to go sit down because she's talking about how she was selling her panties because she needed money, but she told people that they were Halle Berry's panties and she got them because she was Halle Berry's former housekeeper. Girl, go have several seats. We are sick of you. Latoya Luckett, 3rd time's a charm. We came to know her as a member of Destiny's Child. Well, she's gotten married for the 3rd time. Husband number 1 lasted for 2 months. Husband number 2 lasted for 3 years and left her with 2 beautiful children. And now she says she's keeping hubby number 3 out of the limelight, but I don't know how that's possible because she's got photos of their wedding splashed all over the place. Now, you know, her movie, I thought my husband's first wife was dead, came on Lifetime last night. She up there starting stuff. We gotta say congratulations to Simone Biles and every member of Team USA, but Simone is on her way to being the most decorated Olympic athlete, not just gymnast, but athlete that there is. Gotta say 5 on it to two amazing ambassadors from the world of hip hop. One Snoop Dogg, one Flavor Flav. They are dipping it and doing it. And Simone, I agree with you. Stop talking about her hair. Y'all got too much free time. I want to know this one thing, Tommy B. What in the earth, wind, and fire was going on? Did you see that debacle of them on Celebrity Family Feud this week? Oh my goodness, I wanted to put my head under the pillow. Now, I heard that the preliminary round wasn't much better, and that Earth, Wind, and Fire members Verdine White, Philip Bailey, and Ralph Johnson defeated Ron Isley, Ernie Isley, and their families. But then they get on a TV show and they walk away with 0 points. Honey, Tanya Blunt and her husband Michael, they are the Warren Treaty. You may remember her. She was in the Sister Act movies. Honey, that was so embarrassing. The only thing more embarrassing than that, well, I can't even get it out, was that horrible, blinding fuchsia sharkskin suit that Steve Harvey wore, looking like an electrocuted Crayola crayon. That's all I got. I ain't got no more. It's your girl, Tonya B. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. This is the G Podcast. Check us out the same time next week. And don't forget the Birdwire is still on Castropolis.net on demand. All right, holla.
Thanks, Tonya B. Don't forget, man, support us. Subscribe at This Is the G Podcast on YouTube or go to Castropolis.net. Thank you, TikTok, man. Our TikTok support's been great. We still need more followers at This Is the G Podcast. The whole thing, y'all, at This Is the G Podcast. Don't forget to help us remain operating with minimal interruptions. Give at Castropolis.net. And a big congrats to Simone Biles. As of this taping, that black job is still paying off. 10 medals in total, yes. Go ahead, girl. 7 gold. Wow. Congrats. With that, episode 232's in the can. Have a great week. Peace and power to the people.
You've been listening to This Is the G Podcast. This Is the G Podcast is a production of the Castropolis Podcast Network. Thanks for listening.